Welcome to Zyxel Networks 5G CyberTalk, where you can draw inspiration from our Zyxel experts discussion on how 5G is transforming business and reshaping industry. Empower your future with 5G now.
Digital transformation and 5G are buzzwords floating around on every corner of the internet today. In this era of everything being remote, digital transformation is deemed the key to long-term business success. Microsoft CEO had mentioned that they have seen 2 years' worth of digital transformation in 2 months. They have also witnessed over the past years is the dawn of the second wave of the digital transformation, sweeping every company and every industry. 5G is considered the most important engine to drive success for digital transformation. Have you ever thought about building the engine? Is now a good time? Do you know the differences between 4G and 5G? What benefits can 5G bring to small and mid-sized business? To find out, let's heat up the 5G engine with Patrick, who is the 5G's hottest expert at Zyxel Networks. Hi Patrick, thank you for coming to our 5G CyberTalk to share your market observation today. As most of our audience don't know you that much, please tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Patrick Hirscher, the EMEA Market Development Manager for LTE. I'm working now since 6 years for Zyxel. First, I started as a sales engineer for Zyxel Germany, and I was the IT trainer, so I trained our customers on all kinds of our portfolio. I'm now responsible for the LTE part at EMEA.
Welcome, Patrick. Well, as we know, 5G has many benefits, such as higher capacity, lower latency, and more. What requirements do you see from small and mid-sized business? How can 5G help them?
At the end, 5G technology can help SMB, that's really sure, because 5G technology can help SMB do more in less time and with fewer resources. The impact of 5G on SMB cannot be overstated. Compared to 4G, it's really a big benefit. It will provide an all-around better mobile experience and greater efficiency. That means that your small business will be able to do more in less time and with fewer resources. So you also don't pay so much money or invest so much money in 5G technology. For instance, those in e-commerce and retail will see vast improvements in the mobile shopping experience and instant on-the-go purchase. Let me give you an example on that, to make it a little bit clearer for you. For example, more brands will use virtual reality or augmented reality for their customers. Like a Swedish furniture store in 2016 started already with virtual reality. The success was not that big in 2016, but now with 5G, the ultra-fast speed of 5G will give the customer a better benefit. VR experiences will be smoother and frustrating buffering and lags will be a thing of the past. So in the past with 4G or 3G and you took VR or augmented reality in such cases for e-commerce or retail, it was a horrible nightmare because everything was so slow, the latency was crap, and now with 5G there's a real big benefit. Everything is faster, the latency is different. But be aware, next to the augmented reality and virtual reality, we also have the AI. For example, with AI tools like chatbots and virtual personal assistants, like when we are using an application on our smartphone from a clothes shop or whatever, then the mobile assistants or the virtual personal assistants can improve the customer services because everything is smoother, faster, and 5G customers can collect and download information from these AI assistants at lightning speeds. These are the relevant benefits of 5G, not only on SMB part, call it, and this will be the smart wearables, so smartwatches and all the other stuff. Because 5G promise a new avenue in smart wearables, bringing high-speed data transfers at an ultra-low latency. So these are the benefits of 5G, and this benefit will have both sides, so the customer side, but also the SMB side. Everybody will win with 5G technology.
Okay, besides e-commerce, retail, and smart wearables, what other applications do you think are potential for 5G adoption?
We don't even have to be focused on SMBs. We can also be focused on the industrial side. We have a lot of automation productions. So that means robots are doing the productions. And in that case, it also needs to be sending the signals or the data from the main server into the robots, that they know what they have to produce or what they have to do. So there's a kind of automatication, and it's not only SMB related 5G, it will be also a benefit for big industries like getting or receiving offers, contracts, all the other stuff in a short time, so really fast, but also other sections like the automotive. We will have more technologies in the cars. It's not only the navigation map, what we have right now, but even now, like a navigation map in the car, or we don't really up to date from the maps. So we don't get any information if there is a traffic jam, if there is, the road is closed due to an accident or whatever. With 5G technology in the automotive section, we can get this information much more faster. The cars are connected to the car dealer, to the server infrastructure, to all the other stuff. That means that we get this information just in time and not 2 or 3 hours later, or maybe we didn't get the information by today. This is the benefit on the automotive side. Healthcare is also really important. For example, here in Germany, the description, or if a healthcare nurse is taking care of someone, he has to do everything digital. That means she has to write down everything on a tablet, and that has to be saved on a server infrastructure. And this also has to be done just in time. So if the nurse is something filling out on the tablet, it has to be sent immediately. Or if a doctor needs some pictures or needs some documentations, he can get it on the fly. And these are the benefits of 5G as well. And this is where AI is getting more and more stronger in the 5G segment. These are the benefits not only in SMB or retail e-commerce, it will also have in the automotive section, in the healthcare section, also in big industries as well.
Well, 5G is now available in most major cities. It will soon be as widely used as the 4G standards that came before it. However, many of us are still relying on 4G technology. It has proved both reliable and stable enough to force many questions whether they need to move on to 5G. In your view, how is 5G different from 4G? And from the perspectives of resellers and the system integrators, what are the differences when they sell 4G and 5G products?
That's a really good question. The main difference between 4G and 5G in network architectures are based on 5 points. These 5 points are latency, possible download speeds, base stations, OFDM coding, and the last will be the cell density. Let me go into these 5 points. The biggest difference between 4G and 5G is the latency. 5G is promising a low latency of less than 1 millisecond. Compared to 4G, there is a latency of 60 milliseconds up to 98 milliseconds. So, an additional lower latency also means advances in other areas, such as a higher download speed. And higher download speed is a second benefit of 5G. While 4G introduced various voice over IP features, 5G is responding to and improving the promise of faster potential download speeds. It's easy to explain to you. With 4G speed, the maximum what we can reach is 1 gigabit per second. The benefit of 5G, the maximum speed or the download speed, is tenfold to achieve a maximum of downloads. So that means 5G is up to 10 gigabit per second. So it's a massive jump and a big difference between 4G and 5G. Another important difference between 4G and 5G are the base stations that are used, which is required to transmit the signals. For example, the 4G transmits signals from cell towers. 5G will also continue to use cell towers for its lower frequency spectrum. That means for the new high frequencies, however, 5G relies on small cell technology due to millimeter wave frequency level. That means that these small cells are compact and only as big as a pizza box or can be integrated into street lighting. So that means we don't really need to take the existing cell towers that are transmitting 4G signals. We can use these points, the cell towers, to add on the 5G base stations, but the base stations on 5G are so smaller than the 4G. We can also place the base station in different scenarios, like rural cities or big cities. So this is the next benefit. That means 5G, it's not only focused on big cities, it can also go to suburbs or to wherever, and it's an easier installation than it was with 4G before. OFDM coding is also popular at Wi-Fi 6. OFDM is used to split different wireless signals into separate channels to avoid interference. Even on LTE or 5G scenarios, we also have to deal with channeling, and we also have to deal with interference like we have on wireless. OFDMA, the benefit is we can also provide a wider bandwidth because OFDM encodes data on different frequencies. It can increase 4G and 5G download speeds as these networks have their own signal channels rather than a common one. So for example, that means 4G works with 20 MHz channel while 5G uses channels from 100 MHz up to 800 MHz. So you can see the different channels between 4G and 5G. It's 20 MHz versus 100 and upper, but these frequencies or channels will be splitted into small packets, and this is the benefit of OFDM coding. Next is the cell density. Small cell technology enables 5G to achieve higher cell density and increased network capacity, while these were promises for 4G too. But hopefully 5G will succeed where its predecessor lags behind. So we even tried it on the 4G to get more cell density in there, but it really couldn't cover it. And with 5G, we have better experience and more expectation that this cell density will work properly. 4G never quite met its lofty goals for general speeds. With 5G, the network speeds are supposed to become denser, which means they have more capacity to support more users and connected devices. This leads to increased capacity for mobile devices and connections. So on a base station for 5G, we can connect more users and more mobile devices than we can do it with 4G. So that means we also need less base stations like we need to cover 4G or even 3G. This is also a big benefit on 5G. These are the main aspects and points that are made different between 4G and 5G.
Well, how should small and mid-sized business choose 4G or 5G? Do you think now is a good time to deploy 5G?
This is a really good question, and it's not easy to answer. Unlike the fairly rapid transition from 3G to 5G, an industry-wide shift from 4G to 5G does not seem likely to happen soon. For example, I'm based in Germany. We see that there are now starting since 2020 to build up the 5G here in Germany, and it's increasing by town or village to village. So the coverage of 5G is getting more and more. That's because 5G is a fundamentally different technology than 4G. So that's what I mentioned. It's increasing time by time to get more coverage. It's not a wholesale replacement for 4G. So please be in mind, we will keep 4G and 5G will be an additional thing because 5G currently builds on top of 4G technology and use it as a jump off for improved performance. That means maybe we will get rid of 3G in the next couple of years because everything is pointed to 4G and 5G. And 5G stands to be just a revolution as 4G was. And the day will come when it is a must-have for every SMB. If a SMB want to invest into new mobile technology like a 5G router, then he has to be focused on 5G because the development and the coverage in the countries increases day by day. For example, one of the pandemic's silver linings and the acceleration out of necessity of business digital transformation, this is one headliner for 5G, the distributed nature of work from home that we have now at the moment, working from home scenarios, has put pressure on corporate and mobile networks from a scalability, reliability, and security perspective. So AI will also help operators better manage the life cycle of 5G deployments from a planning, deployment, and ongoing operations and maintenance perspective. We can see always the effects of digital transformation, working from home scenarios with AI or with VR or augmented reality, and everything is based on 5G. If someone is looking into 5G or deployment of 5G, he can start and should start now and maybe use 4G as a backup.
Okay, here's the last question. When choosing 5G equipment, what should we pay attention to?
If SMB is looking into invest in 5G, they also need to understand, will it make more time or it will take more time from ISP side to be competitive on 5G. It has to be covered, it has to be built up from ISP side. This will take some time, but 5G is still available and it's much more better and faster than 4G. That's the main consensus out of that story. So SMB has to check if 5G is available. That's the first topic. Is 5G in his area where he wants to place it available? The other thing is what kind of 5G devices they needed. Do they need indoor 5G, outdoor 5G? And please be aware that also the number of 5G end clients is still growing. For example, we have the same story on Wi-Fi 6. Yeah, we have Wi-Fi 6 access points, but the end clients there are starting to increase. And this is the same scenario we have. We have 5G outdoor routers, indoor routers, but the end clients or the number of end clients are increasing because the other vendors like smartphone vendors don't have built-in 5G at the moment, but now they start to increase their clients that also can be used with 5G technology. It can also be possible when you are checking the availability of 5G signal that 5G is faster than the wired ISP WAN side. So it is not only seen as a backup for your internal network. For example, here in Germany, the copper cable ISP WAN side maybe in some areas is lower from the speed than maybe 4G or 5G can offer. Like I mentioned, the speed of 5G is 10 gigabit per second. So even if the SMB or our partner is checking if 5G is available, he should check if the WAN side on the ISP side maybe it's lower, then it's a big benefit to use 5G because then I have higher speed in my internal network and I can also use as the ISP WAN side maybe as a failover, as a second WAN line or as a backup WAN line. So these are some really benefits and maybe the ISP or SMB has to pay attention for. All service providers are now offering 5G services, so it makes sense to be focused on 5G technology. The cost between 5G and 4G contracts, the difference is not really big. it make really sense to be focused on 5G, and the feature set on 5G, it's always developing and it's getting better and better. So if an SMB has the opportunity to choose 4G or 5G, it should be related to 5G. There's no question. For example, if you have still running 4G devices in your environment, because we know everybody was focused on 4G, we have running it several years now, everybody is happy with 4G, but if someone has still running a 4G device in his environment for a long time, and he's just thinking about to renew it, and the normal way of renewing a network structure is somewhere between 4 and 6 years. Internal network structure, but also external network structures. So if you are in this time frame, in this time, you have to think about an upgrade. So that means get out of the 4G devices, keep it maybe as a backup, but be focused on 5G. That's really makes sense. Yeah. If our partners or SMB are starting the deployments from the scratch, so from the beginning, then they should be focused on 5G technologies. That's really clear. If it's available in his area, he should take a 5G contract. He should take a 5G device. And in that case, we as Zyxel can really help you with the devices. We have several 5G devices in our portfolio. We have a portable device that's called NR2101. This is interesting for the pandemic scenario at the moment, so working from home scenarios. If someone who's working from home has a bad internet line or ISP line, the NR2101, the portable device with 5G connection, can really help the home worker. But the benefit is also, if you are going on traveling, then it's a benefit to be connected with 5G when the hotel LAN or wireless is not so good. So this is a big opportunity on traveling side, working from home side. And we also have indoor 5G device that's called NR5101. It's a small, nice box that's also transmitting and delivering 5G signal. It's also a benefit for work homes, but also for industrial part of our small shops where the ISP side is also crap, or we have a better 5G coverage and he can use it as an entry point for his internal network using electronic cache systems or ordering systems. 5G can also be interesting in that scenario based on the 5 magic points, latency, download speed, and the other 3 main topics. On the last side, we also have an outdoor 5G router that's called NR7101. That's also really focused for the industrial side because it has a special IP housing, so it's against rain, dust, and hot environments or cold environments. The housing is really preferred for that scenario. It's also protected against lightnings, and it also has a electronic surgery in there. So this is not only for industrial part, but focused for that. And as you can see, we can fulfill all your demands from portable, indoor and outdoor, and for all sections like small SMBs up to industrial sections.
Well, it's all for today's interview. Massive thank you for being here and sharing your knowledge and observation with us, Patrick. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Zyxel Networks 5G CyberTalk. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the future of 5G. You can head over to Zyxel Networks 5G solution webpage to listen and read more interviews. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Facebook at Zyxel, on Instagram at Zyxel Worldwide, and on Twitter at Zyxel Home. Thanks again. See you next time.